May 13th, 1985, Philadelphia police decides to drop a bomb on a house rooftop. Inside that house were 13 people, 7 adults, 6 kids. Police commissioner as well as the fire commissioner allowed the fire to burn 2 hours before deciding to intervene, leaving 61 homes destroyed and 250 people homeless. That day, 6 adults and 5 kids were unalive. The M.O.V.E. massacre. Let's talk. What or who is M.O.V.E., you ask? An organization founded in 1972 by John Africa. The Christian Movement for Life, aka M.O.V.E. Their objective was that similar to the Black Panther Party for Black Power, along with environment and animal rights activism. The organization often spoke out against police brutality, animal cruelty, a corrupt system, pool mills, zoos, circus, industrial pollution, you name it.
Confrontation started with authority, and then it wound up that we was going to court, and then the confrontation started with the courts and the judges, and it just snowballed into one confrontation after other.
John Africa, along with other M.O.V.E. members, lived together in a Politan village in West Philadelphia. As activists, they would stage bullhorn demonstrations and speak out against institutions they oppose or deem corrupt, such as then Mayor Frank Rizzo, who was known for brutalizing Black activists and the police department for their brutality in the 1970s. In 1976, 6 M.O.V.E. members returned to the Politan village after being released from jail. The police arrived shortly after and accuses them of disturbance. The police began to beat the members with their blackjacks, breaking several bones, causing skull fractures, including full head injuries, which 3 weeks old Life Africa suffered from after the police slammed his mom that day. The officer slammed his mother, Janie Africa, so hard that it crushed the little angel's head. M.O.V.E. then took the case to court, and a lot of people in the community were willing to testify, but before all testimonies could be heard, the judge dismissed the case. Alongside having smoked with the FBI and the Philadelphia Police Department, the neighbors weren't too enthused with the organization and would often complain to the city about receiving threats from the members, the smell of garbage, and rats, which prompted city officials to coordinate a health and house inspection. But M.O.V.E. was like, you're not coming up in here. And on May 20th, 1977, members stood outside their home, weapons in hand, saying no longer will we be beaten or intimidated by the police without a light response. Judge Lynn Abraham then issued warrants for 11 members for riot and possession of instrument of crime. The city seized the M.O.V.E. house for 51 days, cutting off all utilities and barricading the area to prevent them from getting water or food. On August 8th, 1978, Judge Rizzo issued warrants for 21 members of the M.O.V.E. organization for violating court orders, which led to a standoff between the remaining M.O.V.E. members and the Philadelphia police. Police used extreme forces that day, such as high-pressure water hoses, bulldozers, automatic weapons. They were ready for war. While in battle, unfortunately, an officer by the name of James Ramp was unalived, caught in the crossfire. Despite evidence proving that the fatal shots came from one weapon, 9 M.O.V.E. members were charged for the slain officer's demise. However, it's believed that the officer was actually pow-pow by a fellow officer. While trying to surrender, M.O.V.E. members were holding their kids up as shields in hopes that the officers would cease fire. Although the 9 M.O.V.E. members were taken in alive, someone caught footage of the police brutally attacking Deborah Africa. Deborah Africa would also bring up charges against the officers, and they were also acquitted. Judge claimed the DA failed to prove that the attack wasn't self-defense. So the cops walked free. Meanwhile, 9 M.O.V.E. members were sentenced anywhere from 30 to 100 years in prison. That same day, the house was completely destroyed by the handy-dandy bulldozer. Yeah, that's why that was there. Destroying the entire crime scene. Not only was the house destroyed, trees were bulldozed down as well to hide any ricocheting from the pow-pows. Fast forward to 1981, 1982. The remaining M.O.V.E. members relocated to Osage Avenue. There they would conduct peaceful protests in order to make awareness of the wrongfully imprisoned members and in hopes of them being released at first. Over time, they became angry and very militant. Neighbors began to complain about the loud banging coming from them boarding up their windows, to the profanity and vulgar language they would use while speaking on their loudspeaker to give the word to the community. You know, maybe they could have had a better delivery, but it still was the gospel, not gossip, the gospel, you know. In 1984, Philadelphia gets its first black mayor, W. Wilson Goode Sr. He was briefed under the FBI and Philadelphia Police Department about the surveillance on the M.O.V.E. organization and met with the locals and neighbors in Osage to get, you know, their thoughts, their opinions on the ordeal. By 1985, you could say that the city, the neighbors, had had enough of the M.O.V.'s antics. The police department obtained a layout of the M.O.V.E. members' home through the City Department of License Inspections. They created a replica of their home to create a strategy which included tear gas, explosives, and automatic weapons. After going silent for 7 to 8 months, on April 28, 1985, M.O.V.E. members made an announcement on their loud horns in response to police lurking in their backyard. Now, why y'all bothering them people? Them people had them went quiet, they was chill, you know what I'm saying? They wasn't even looking for no action. Y'all in them people's yard. The neighbors then would make calls and complaints to the police department. However, no arrests were made. The police did record and take notes of those speeches.
You could not imagine. It's one thing to be 2 blocks away and hear it, but to live right next door, full blast in our bedroom.
You have the children playing in the streets. You have mother maybe sitting on the steps, neighbors talking to each other, And all of a sudden, on the loudspeaker, you'd hear a voice would come out and say, "You motherfucker, what the fuck are you doing out here now? Do you know what's going on here? You son of, you're around here, everybody up. What?" Anything that was vile, they would go into it.
May 9th, 1985, Sam Board ordered Irene Primsley to remove the children from the M.O.V.E. home. However, the department lacked legal authority to take the children with absent reports of abuse or neglect. Therefore, they then considered the kids as collateral damage. Also on May 9th, Mayor Good sent in 3 private citizens to negotiate with M.O.V.E. members. However, M.O.V.E. refused to talk anymore after Good stated that he couldn't make any promises that no one would be arrested. According to M.O.V.E. member Gerald Africa, they agreed to come out the house to avoid confrontation if Mayor Good and Robert Nix would give them a verbal agreement that the courts will review the case of the other 9 members serving time. But Good and other authority members refused to compromise. Instead, the Philadelphia Police Department was prepared and ready to go to war. May 11th, 1985, District Attorney Ed Randall secured arrest and search warrant for 4 M.O.V.E. members from Judge Lynn Abraham. 4 M.O.V.E. members were charged with criminal conspiracy, possession of explosives, riot, and improper threats. Judge Lynn Abraham also issued a search warrant that claimed M.O.V.E. members had illegal cash, weapons, and explosives in their home, which was later determined that was a... Aside from the 4 members with warrants, there were 9 other people in the house, including 6 children from the ages 4 to 14. Sunday, May 13th, 1985. Mother's Day. Should have been home with mama. But no, the police department and fire department arrived outside the M.O.V.E.'s home. The neighbors were instructed to leave and not return for 24 hours. Shortly before 6 a.m., the police moved in with tear gas and water cannons to evict the members from the home. Police then released fire from automatic weapons after the tear gas and water cannons did not work. Once they ran out of ammo, they would then drop a bomb on the roof. The roof is on fire. No, it's not funny, but they did that. On live television, in broad daylight. One adult, Ramona Africa, and 1 child, Michael Birdie Africa, survived. Ramona was then captured and taken into custody. Michael suffered severe 2nd and 3rd degree burns to his arm and legs. His mother tragically passed away in the fire. So, when I see a celebrity get up here and say, free somebody, let's free those members who are still wrongfully in prison. Let's get this petition going on change.org. And if I do get it started, or if one of you guys beat me to the punch and you want to do some research and look into this case yourself, tag me. Things that make you go, Things we may be unaware of that need to be discussed. Do you think those 9 members should have the case reopened? Well, those that are remaining, that are still living today. But you guys could do your own research. I challenge you to do your own research. And that was our story time for today. Drop your comments, thoughts below. Till next time. Mwah.